Now I could recognize the signs from the nature. It might not be from the nature directly. That is, it might not be from the bird also. Any bird or any creature in the or any animate objects or any animal or birds or not like that also. It might be from a mobile phone. It might be from a uh, from the sound of maybe a vehicle. So, like sir said before some time, take everything that comes into your life comes in. I'm taking everything that coming to my life with attention and care. And coming to the next point, yes. Now, this is a this is a picture I took yesterday night when I went to have food from outside. When the person placed the cup in front of me, I just noticed the bubbles, and I noticed something different, some magnificent difference in that. So I first thought that is it the first time I'm looking at the cup like that? Definitely, it was the first time I'm looking at the bubbles like that. But instead of that, there was something different or something. There was some differences on the bubbles in that teacup, and immediately I looked upwards and I saw a wonderful arrangements of lights, and what I saw in the cup was a reflection of what is on the top. I mentioned this to say that I am looking at things rather than just watching or seeing it. This is another thing that noticed. I don't exactly know the English word for that fruit, but this is a place I park my car every weekend when I go home. That fruit was there maybe for 1 month also, but one day I noticed it and I uh, took the picture. So nowadays I am seeing subtle things, the details, the smaller details of things, and it's really wonderful. And yeah, that's it. Then yes, uh, when I was reading something, I realized a subtle difference in my reading, because sometimes I read so fast and I don't remember, or I didn't I just didn't get the idea of what I was reading. So I read one or two times and then I understood that my eyes were eyes and brain are not properly arranged. We are not properly arranged at that time, because after reading one word, my eyes were going to the next word instead of capturing the uh, idea or the concept sense of that word when I read in a faster manner. So right now I'm maintaining an alignment with my eyes and my brain. Whenever I read a word, I should read that word at that present moment, and on the same time, you need to move from. I mean, you are. I mean, my eyes and my brain must move from one word to the next word at the same time. By doing this, my reading became so much productive. Just reading, I'm not telling that just reading once I got the idea. Yes, some kind of I'm getting the idea just reading once, because the attention is very sharp on one word, on the one word in front of me. And yes, this is sir was saying this thing many times. You will be cool whatever happens. And this I experienced when we were having a sales meeting. MD was also there. So it was a day on which so many incidents were happened in Kerala. There was so much heavy rain and landslides were there. In Pathanamthitta district, there were so many casualties, and they were all discussing all these things. And at that time also, this idea came to my mind that whatever happens, you will be cool. You will face the situation in a cool manner. So, thank you, sir. This is something I listened maybe for 6 to 7 years or 10 years back. ഗുരു ഓതിത്തന്നത് കാതിൽ മുഴങ്ങുന്നതാണ് സൗഭാഗ്യം. It is my blessing that the words of my guru is echoing in my ear. And it is a blessing to get the right thing or listen to the voice of guru at the right time and implement it at the right time in life. So that's it, sir. Thank you.
One minute.
Vinayji,
Yes.
can you see me?
Yes, yes, Amir. Yes.
So your presentation is over.
Yes.
So I was actually, I felt a little bit emotional. So not a happy, I felt a happy sadness. So I wanted to do this. It was
Thank
really
you, Amir.
beautiful. It was really beautiful, Vinayji. Actually, I would be confucius, and I would ask you, how did you do this, Vinayji? Because I would say that the people here, we are the river, and you are that person who's just in the center of that whirlpool, or that a difficult situation, which is not difficult for you. You just flowed. So I am really happy, Vinayji. Appreciate it a lot.
I'm happy to see your happy face. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Vinay,
Yes, Vinay ji.
you have become the Zen master, Vinay. Especially the last part you said, Guru Odit Tamil. Can you put on that slide?
Yes, sure.
Oh, this is so beautiful, and whatever Sir says is written. I can hear that ringing in your ears. All that what Sir told, and you implemented it straight away. I have no words, Vinay. I have no words. Especially the Zen parable, you said the parable, Confucius told.
Vinay, I think, like they say, circumstances conspire. I wasn't sure if I would be able to attend today's session, but it was necessary, it was required, and it was destined. I'm here. I'm so happy that I could take the session today. It was a very different variation for me from usually how I take my sessions because I have my laptop, I have another monitor. I'm furiously writing away. I'm trying to take screenshots, snapshots, archive things. So this time it was a total let go for many reasons. We did not have power here. So I like charged my mobile, charged my earphones as well, which I generally never use. And I was in a room taking the session in complete silence and in complete darkness almost because the light wasn't necessary. I switched it off. So you started with the flow, the river. I was listening to you speak and I could hear the rain behind you. That was beautiful. Like Sir said, a variation. And this time I was not focused in trying to typed down furiously. I was completely listening to you. It was beautiful. The first thing was that you said you were a little awed by all some of the other presentations. Yeah. I mean, you have many of the what do you call it, doyens here who were presenting before, but you started off, you gave a mix of a beautiful narrative. You took photographs which were your own photographs, and you took that through with the sir, like sir said, a master screenwriter or a script player. You took the whole script through, and a language control. You're actually, it is beautiful. Like I said, some of maybe I have this tendency of overstating. You are very precise in what you wanted to communicate. So everything what you said was internalized. Then the other aspect is like many of us, or many of the people here, you are very frank in terms of your questions, your observations. You interlinked in a beautiful parable from which sir was also able to go into some other deeper insights. Thank you for that. And you also talked about your experiences, your connection to nature. I think you are very much connected to the nature process. I don't remember where you were in a few months back when we all provided our insights, and Mantra Ramaya had brought out a chart with respect to all the creative competencies we have. But wherever it was before, I'm very sure nature process is into the center of it. Linkaging back to what Amaya said today, he generally is a person who requires prodding from sir to come in. He jumped in, he expressed his feeling. So, as an artistic person, as a very intense person, that's something which you triggered from the heart. And linkaging from that into what Vinaji said as well, it's amazing. And I also think your conceptualization is good. You internalize Sir's learnings. You're also taking into some of the principles of following or imbibing or accepting whatever the Guru says. So I think that is internalized. And I think you were in awe of Jagan and you wanted to be there with Sir. That was the first desire. So I think I could connect back to where, after having listened to Priya, what I wanted to do was be with Sir. What is going to be happening there? I have no clue, but I just wanted to be there. The rest will follow through. So that I was reminded of. I think you've become a master of delivery as well, Vinay. Thank you for that. Thank you for the session.
And hearing
Thank
the
you.
sound of
Absolutely.
water, yeah. All the examples were brilliant, Vinay.
Yes, thank you,
It
thank you,
it was
thank
a
you, Jagin.
very sensual presentation, Vinayji. So and uh, so I've been like sorry about it. I've been like 2 3 works I've been doing and listening to it since, but some family things are going on. But even though, but it was lots of your slides were practical, and it was reporting of an incident. So which is then theoretical, that practical and that naturality came, and the full presentation was in flow. So yeah, I really enjoyed it, but I would like to see it once more to really get to the context of it. And yeah, thanks for the presentation, Vinay.
Thank you, Rameshji. One thing I just let me tell one thing. When the first time I joined the session, I didn't know the background of Rameshji. So I thought that I asked him in which software did you make your presentation. So he told me that it's just PPT, and he just PowerPoint presentation. He just sent me that original file, and I was very much what would I say, astonished, and I told the same to my uncle also. I thought he was doing some other software, but and I, as sir, always admire your presentations were of world class, and I tried to copy that in the beginning, putting little things here and there. Then I understood that that is not my way. I just need to go in my way. But definitely, I am imbibing qualities from each and everyone here, because right now, yeah, everything and everyone is our guru. So yeah, I'm getting insights from everyone, and of course, Sir is on the top of that. That's it.
I can actually second what Ramesh was saying. I mean, Ramesh and Ashwati are two people whose presentations I really love to look at. It's a visual delight. Your presentation has also been seamlessly crafted. You've blended in all aspects of the narrative. You blended in aspects of the elements what we studied in the visual design. So it's a perfect mix, I would say. Like my favorite dish, avial, it is perfect.
Especially that photograph with the ants. I really enjoyed it. So it's got a very nice perspective, and the ants. I was zooming in on my phone and seeing each of that ant details and the story around the ants. Normally they go in line, but this particular ant colony, they spread out and then they come back. They spread out and then come back. So the amount of observation that you have gotten and the way of narrating, capturing that particular scene and sharing it. Thanks to Vinay.
Even
Thank
on
you,
that
Ramesh.
photograph, Ramesh, if you remember that teacup, right? And how
Mm-hmm.
he's captured it consciously, subconsciously, where the reflection of the lights are all positioned around it, even from
Mm.
the top down to that perspective below where it tapers down. So that sensitivity, either the creature or him, both are in tune.
Yeah, 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 beautiful. Mm.
And the Atachaka finding that out when he's driving in and taking that photograph.
I was just astonished. I didn't see this thing till these days. Then I thought, no, it would not happen in 1 week. That is definite.
It was a marvelous presentation, Vinayji. Uh, y- your everything, I mean, every single thing you have said is an evidence of your tuning. It felt like um, your how you detect signals from all the small things and each and everything that happens in your life. And I think you have uh, learned to see the parables of life itself, like every small instance, every photograph that you took, it felt like a parable actually, with so much depth and meaning in one single stroke or one shot, where you observed something profound from the everyday things. And even your presentation, I felt it was very different from usual, uh, with one single image which depicts something in a white plain background. Um, all your choices and decisions you have taken in every single uh, signal that you have found from your surroundings, I think genius choices you have chosen already. So thank you so much, Vinayji, for uh, showing the way. It was great, really.
Thank you. Thank you, Siri. And the art of recording and organizing things, what you are doing is absolutely marvelous. Uh, and because whenever there is a doubt of this, I mean, if you have some doubt, you can ask Ashwati, and she will definitely say it's from this session and it's from this thing. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Also,
Yeah, Vinayji, it has been an absolutely beautiful presentation. Can I have the slide in which you have explained the concept sense of flow? Yeah, this one. Yeah. Well, I find it this was an absolutely beautiful slide, and you have stuck to this concept sense. I would say you've been true to this throughout your whole presentation, and I don't think it will be wrong to add being Vinay also to this. Uh, as a as the various meanings of flow, uh, and I don't know if it is the concept of integrity is also very crucial to the meaning of flow. You start in some way, and you should also be integral. to the whole thing by the time you end, if at all, if you end. I mean, I don't think you'll ever end because it's a continuous flow, continuous stream. And that you have maintained it right from the beginning till the end. You have ensured that all your constituent particles have also flowed along with you and not just one part. Every single, I don't know, I can't say that, but I felt all your constituent particles have also flowed, and they've all come together with you. And as you flow, you have also been able to see the flow around you. And so there's been a whole whirlpool of the whole whirlpool flow happening, and you have been in the center of the whole of it. That's the feeling that I had while listening to the whole of presentation. It was just absolutely beautiful. um, and again, regarding your photographs, many of the time if you just look at the word flow, I don't think many of the photographs you will actually link it to the word flow. Just by seeing the photographs, the word flow will not come to my mind on a normal thing. But the way you have linked the concept of flow to each and everything, you've shown that when you are flowing, everything else can come along with you if you are integral and true to your purpose. So the way you have connected maybe apparently disconnected things, you've shown the magic of flow, how it can work, and how it can take you up to a very different level. So it has been absolutely beautiful. And I would also like to add that I always look forward to hearing your reviews after each and everyone's presentation. They've been totally different, and uh, the element of flow is seen there too. You ensure that the person's presentation is also flows in through you, and how you actually imbibe. If everybody does that, but yours has a special quality altogether. So I always look forward to hearing your reviews. And yes, the element of flow is always there. Yeah, and that's all
If
from
I
my
could add to what you were saying, Ashwati, sorry, Anuradha, what you said is correct. I usually say Vinay always asks the most Socratic questions at the end of
Mm.
each session.
Yeah.
His reviews or questions are very bang on. And I was
Mm.
lucky, sir asked me a long time ago to read Flow by Mihaly. I forgot about it, and I want to thank Vinay for bringing up this subject of flow. And I would say that by doing the concepts and the analysis, you've actually identified the core concepts of it. Maybe now, if you go and read that book, I think you might see that whatever you said, many of it resonates there. But having understood that with the definitions itself, I think you've got the competencies, you attained the competencies, Vinay. Super.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Nitiji. To Anuradha, I'm flowing with the constituent particles.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful,
It
Vinay.
was a magical flow, Vinay,
Thank you.
and I could relate to many things that you told, and very strikingly, you have not only um, submitted yourselves to the nature process, but also to your guru. So that makes a lot of difference, and the slide. um what is that? Guru
Guruvodittanadu
Guru
kadil
ഉദിക്കുന്ന കാതിൽ മുഴങ്ങുന്നതാണ്
മുഴങ്ങുന്നതാണ് എൻ
സൗഭാഗ്യം.
സൗഭാഗ്യം.
That is so bang on. And yeah, I could also, as Veena said, very strikingly, him also. So it's a nice journey, and you have um, narrated it so sincerely, so transparently, whatever you have been going through, and very simple narration, nothing complicated about it. And slides also were, as if you were showing pictures, so that you were exactly showing us what your reference are. Whatever is the referent reality for you, you were sharing the same with us also through those pictures. So
could connect very well, understood what your flow is, what your constituent particles are. So it was a wonderful presentation, and thanks for taking us through that. And
Thank you.
good luck
Thank you
to
for
you.
this.
May I?
Nityaji, you are on.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. What I'm thinking is, one thing always amazes me is how a lawyer will present a case. For instance, if there is a crime or something happened, and the lawyer who is investigating or who is involved in that, he would be going through the case. Sometimes initially he may think there is no case in that, but then as he studies the case, he may find so many linkages, he may find so many evidences, he may find so many supporting factors, so many witnesses, so many um, other people who can give supporting evidences, etc. And finally, when he has to present the case, he may not have all that time that he spent on that case to present to in front of a judge. He has to be doing through certain evidences and then finally say, "This is my point." So, watching your presentation, I didn't see your last presentation. I missed it, and this one, I feel that you have gone through evidences. Every single slide that you have given, you have presented an evidence of your learning, evidence of what exactly happened. Like, for instance, that teacup. So it's a marvelous observation, and nobody can refute. Like, after seeing that, we can clearly relate to where you're coming from. And at the end, you present all these evidences, and then it is as if you say, "I rest my case. This is all the evidences that I have, what I have learned as a person, and my journey through GCF and my growth." And to nail it down, you have mentioned the quote, "Guru Bodhi Tandada Kadal Muranganada Ananda Saubhagyam." I can't say anything more to actually underline it, or just to finish it with your presentation, and you have done it very beautifully. So congratulations. And I would say that, we have, I mean, I'm also a person who always look for some evidences in my learning, and you have done like so many presented so many evidences, and very beautifully. Thank you for doing that, and I'll remember many of these points because of your presentation. Even the simple things like the cow shed, and how your father is spending time, before milking the cow, how he is creating a setting. So your observation of not only your actions, your creature, your journey, but about others, even the animals, the ants, everything has become so sharp and sensitive, and you presented it so well, Vinay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Nityaji. You are always a person who gives so much emotion to the presentations. And I really loved each and every presentation of yours. Thank you.
And can I ask one more question?
Yes.
Sir mentioned about how your spouse is taking, she doesn't have the same view as you. How is Nitya taking your journey? Is she along with you, or is she becoming curious? Just
Uh, it's, I think I had a talk with Sir yesterday. On the last Saturday and Sunday, we had a very mature talk. Till that time, it was a bit of confused kind of state, because that is always a question for not only for Nitya, for everyone. It might be like that. Attending sessions, maybe sitting for a session for 3 hours, 3.5 hours, then investing time for learning, not learning sadly, investing time for experience the same. I'm just trying to. There is no point of trying. Also, I'm just trying to explain these things or convey my ideas. But it's right now it's getting better. Definitely, it was not bad, not at all bad, but still that differences were there. As Sir said in the beginning, we are in the flow. When I am in the flow, I'm just flowing. So I don't need to. Definitely, I don't need to consider the outside world because I am flowing. But right now, I got a point that sometimes I need to stop and see the surroundings. That is a wonderful point. Managing the differences, it is there. It is there. She's also very adaptive. She's very flexible. Uh, so
But they
yeah.
will not. They will notice the changes.
Definitely. And a few things were there, but because uh, she had an engineering degree from Gujarat, and she got into an IT job. Other than that, there was no exposure for her. But yesterday she explained that after marrying me, she read so many books. Before the last Sunday we had a wonderful talk. She read many books. Someone approached her for doing business of Amway. Someone from LinkedIn contacted her. So she told me that maybe 1 hour, 1.5 hours they were talking, and in the end only she talked. That means the other person talked about the company Amway. So she told me that she was familiar about that only because she married me. Otherwise, she could have been in that small circle. And not Think and Grow. It's Rich Dad Poor Dad book.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm yeah. So yeah. Let her. She's also trying to realize the things. Sir also told me that he asked me that whether she's listening to the talks. Before that, I didn't, as I told in the case of my father, I didn't allow anyone to enter in my circle because I don't know how they perceive that things. If they take it in a positive manner, it's okay, fine. Otherwise, but now I am mixing that gap. In my home also, I am discussing things as that one point sir once told, and he repeated it today also. Your world is your surroundings. There was a bang on my head. That means that I was always thinking about
Now,
that bigger picture. That means the world, how the top people are thinking like that. But yeah, definitely my world is that father, mother, Nitya, and my guru. That is my world. Definitely, we need to consider that. Otherwise, what is the point of? And definitely, because said like that, I spend time with my grandmother also. I spend sufficient time with her.
that's great.
Otherwise,
And you.
I was one more thing. Nidhi, I was so much into training sessions. Not training exactly. I was passionate about learning things. So I almost listened to YouTube videos, and before that also, before starting the session also. But right now, I created a balance between both. When I go to my home, I spend time with them because what is the point of investing so much outside if we don't get enough time to invest? with them. Uh, so yeah, you were about to tell something.
No. I also wanted to ask, like, you mentioned about letting go in your presentation. Um, that's also very beautiful because I think at some stage I mean, I had different experiences, and when I thought that this is not, it's not actually within my control, and then I let go and just be in the flow, then the solutions will happen naturally, like some way or the other. Um, because that ability to let go is also very important. So just correlating with what you are mentioning. So when we see the presentations, we go through an inner journey as well. Along with your journey, you will be just going through what different situations that you have been through, and so it's a reflection happening when we read book or when you see a presentation. So I'm just sharing what I felt about.
Yes. Things
Yeah.
happen like that. There is no point in holding it so tight.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
And yeah, that is in Nitya's case also, it was like that because I was holding it so tight before maybe 1 month or 2 months back. But sir asked me to do activities at home also.
Mm-hmm.
So I started doing many things also. Yeah, one thing is that I I don't talk much to other people. That means what is there to talk? If we are talking, we must, yeah, especially the trip we had 2 weeks back. That is the photographs I took on that trip. Uh, for 45 minutes, I thought that what is the point of going with them? How I could cancel the trip. I was completely lost because for 2 years I was completely not aloof but maintaining the distance. Then uh, but I changed the topics exactly. I changed the topics to one of them was a mechanical engineer. So I changed the topic to how an engine works and how the friction of uh, tire with the road kind of things. So we can manage situations that I understood. Whenever there is a discussion, if one discussion is going in that way, if we don't need that, we can say another point and they will come in our way.
Mm.
So
Actually, Vinayji, I have always noticed this when Sir talks to us also. I remember whenever Sir used to call at home, and if I were the one to pick up the phone, he would always ask me what I was doing, and then he will try to go deep into the realities of it. So there was always room for conversation with him, and so I think you are also implementing that now.
Yeah.
yes,
Vinay, you may remember, like, when we came to Sir's place long time ago, and you were
yes, yes,
there.
yes.
Yeah, and my son still, the younger one, still says the most, um, what is the word he's used? I'm just thinking. The best conversation he ever had was with Sir. He was young at that time, but still he remembers that, he hasn't even, I don't think he has watched that video also much, but he still remembers that was the most important or like most beautiful conversation he ever had because Sir gave his full attention, and it was, it is not something I can't describe, but it's, yeah.
I remember that conversation exactly. That means the main point. That means sir asked. It was one discussion was about Ekalavya. So sir asked, what could have been the one part of the body that the guru asked from Ekalavya. So he said his hand. So I immediately told, or I immediately came out with the conclusion, no, it's not that. Then sir just stopped me and no, 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 no. You don't need to say that kind of that. And because his observation was right. Hand is one thing, but the thumb is the next level. So that right and wrong trap, I understood at that time. So sir said that the hand is right, but what is next? Then he came to the point that means the thumb was, or thumb or finger was the exact answer kind of thing. I remember that. Thank you.
Hello, uh, Vinay ji.
Yes, Navinji.
Yeah, brilliant Vinay. First of all, it was nice to know a new parable today, going with the flow, and more than that, I am very pleased to see the manifested flow in you. In a way, we are all here to find our flow, but you have presented many of your doings to evidence the flow of you, and that is very pleasant to know all that. Especially, it's brilliantly correlating your unique, wonderful, and original photographs with your flow and with your experiences of the flow. Not only that, you were thoroughly slow today. You were thoroughly slow, and you always remain slow. And that's your, I think, that is your another manifestation or evidence of flow. And so always maintain your flow, go with your flow, and grow with your flow. But at the conceptual level, however, at the conceptual level, I think in today's presentation, the concept of maintaining the highness of the self, and I think that is unique, that concept of maintaining the highness. And as we all know that whole of the flow, I think the whole of the flow of the nature or universe depends on potential difference. And the direction of the flow is always from the point of high potential energy to low potential energy. And if anyone is a man of high potential, then he can easily maintain and he can easily throw away his potential to the lower potential energy level and fill the gap. And by filling the gap, you can make the journey very smooth. And I think that feeling of the gap from potential difference makes all the difference, and that is the flow. And it's very nice to know all the flow that you have presented. And with that, I congratulate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Navinji. You always takes point on quantum physics, particles. I used to search uh, after your presentation or after you explain those things, particle to wave. And thank you for
Oh, yeah.
making me to next level also.
Thank you.
Good evening, Vinayji.
Yes, Mandra.
Hi. So, I really don't know what to say because it's after this presentation, it's kind of a feeling of elevation. Like there was something about the way you talked and you presented. That was very calm, and like Naveenji already said, you are just manifesting flow throughout the presentation. And even though you like had some hindrances, I guess, because even though you stopped at some points, you just came back again and just begin to talk like nothing happened. And it was like getting hit by a feather, but the impact was that of being hit by a hammer the whole presentation. And there was something very magical about this presentation. The whole, even my room, the energy around feels very unique. And I feel like I got more energy after listening to your presentation. And various things about how you presented most of your understandings also made me realize that you were already practicing intentionality, whether consciously or unconsciously. You are practicing that and you are getting the results. And that is a very big uh, lesson for me to know how to start practicing that. Because when you're talking about waking up without an alarm, I can't even wake up when the alarm is there. So when you're waking up without an alarm, you already gave the intent that you should wake up. So you are able to complete that task. So maybe I'll also start practicing that. And I had a lot of things to say, but I'm still really stuck in that flow. I'm trying to come with you. So, and that's all. I have nothing more to say. It was really magical, and like everybody said, you were just flowing throughout the presentation. Um, so that's it, Vinayji. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you, Mandra. There is, like Sir said, uh, I have to leave that fear. Sometimes I had to do some major tasks for office. Sometimes there were days I didn't do that, but on that day it was not asked. So, so that's it. If it comes that way, I don't go that way.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
So thank you, Mandra. You are so. I mean, you are so matured,
Thank you.
and
Thank you.
thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Vinayji.
I want to appreciate Mantra because I like the way she gave it a review. It was very. She wants to always. I've noticed she always wants to give one extra point that others haven't given yet. So it was actually a beautiful poetic kind of review. So thank you, Mantra. And also, Vinayji, I also wanted to add on something that is not add on. I Ramesh ji's and Anuji's review on your presentation. Um, by listening to that review, I was reminded of an parable, not a parable, a story of Vishnu, Lord Vishnu. So Naradan, Naradan is the person who goes around saying Narayana, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So he once comes and asks Vishnu, "Am I your greatest devotee?" And Vishnu straight up tells him, "No, you're not." Then Naradan asks him, "How can you say that? Because all the time I just go around singing your glory, and I always think about you." And Vishnu tells him, "No, not always. There is a greater devotee than you." So Naradan is eager to he wants to know who the greater devotee is. And that is also a little bit ego of Narada, I think, by reading it, I felt. So Vishnu and Naradan, in disguise, they go to a farmer's house and they ask for shelter. And they tell the farmer that they are going for a pilgrimage or something. And then the farmer says, "Yeah, yeah, sure. You can come into my home." And he says something about Vishnu. I forgot what he said. And they spend the time there. And the food he had to eat, he serves it to the guest. And he doesn't have food, the farmer. And he sleeps. And all this time, he talks about Narayana or Vishnu, but not how Naradan goes around talking about Vishnu. And then when he is giving hay to the cow, or when he's farming in the land, he talks about Vishnu, or he praises Vishnu, or whatever. And after that, they leave the place, they continue the journey. Now Narada is really angry and he asks Vishnu, "How can you say that that farmer is a greater devotee than me? Because I only heard him talking about you at some instances, not as much as I do." Okay, then Vishnu tells Narada to do a task, that is to carry a bowl full of water and go around a hill, a small hill. But not even a single drop of water should fall out of the bowl. He just tells him that, nothing else. And he goes, so he has to take 3 circles. I mean, 3 times he should go around the hill. And he comes back. And Vishnu asks him, "How many times did you think about me?" Narada tells him, "Not even once. I was thinking about the water. I was concentrating on the water not to spill the water out of the bowl." So Vishnu told him, "You might think about me when there is nothing else in your mind." But he thought about me when he was very busy, in the most busiest part of his life, when he was doing some work in his farm or giving hay, things like that.
Right.
I am referring to that parable because not to say that you are a great devotee or great student to Swami, but to say that you always carry those ideas with you. Because when I go to a shop or when I go to have something outside, even I can see, like you said, but you're actually always thinking about the ideas. You're in that flow. When you just saw the cup, then you see that only thinking in retrospect, understand, yeah, I thought in a different way. But when you're doing it, you're actually doing, yeah, let me think differently about the cup. I'm sure you will not do that at that point. You just felt like taking a photo of this and you took it. But when you did the
Exactly.
presentation, you thought about it in retrospect. So I would say you're like that greatest devotee. Not going around praising Swami, but taking his ideas and making it yours. So I would say you're great, Vinayji.
Thank you.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Agreed. Agreed. Right. Thank you.
Like,
That's something I really want to
Beautiful,
learn.
Amaya. Beautiful, Amaya.
Brilliant.
And Amaya's response is also very different today.
Exactly,
yes, yes.
exactly.
Always right.
Yeah. Normally he's, as Tintin said, only when sir is prompting him, he will come up with some response. Sometimes he say, "I have nothing to say," but very a shift in you as well.
So,
The
so
flow has
Yeah,
changed.
flow has
yes,
gotten into you.
Yes, yes.
I climbed the Everest of Hamaya.
I think today's presentation, like I said, initially there was a poem with Nityaji, and then there were visual presentations. I was wondering what I would do. And we finally have what is a parabolic presentation in that sense. So this presentation actually has, maybe it's halfway through the session, and then after that everybody's talking, everybody's engaging. And I think every observation, what people are bringing out from the parable itself are like Amaya said, elements of what Sir has taught, what Sir has guided us. So I think there's so many hidden gems in your presentation, Vinay. Super.
Thank you, thank you,
Right,
thank you, Jimmy.
right.
Feedbacks matters a lot, matter a lot.
I was also wondering, I mean, today I have that clarity. I was wondering after all our sessions, why should all of us do our presentations? I was thinking, I mean, when Nitya ji presented hers, I said, this is complete. Then each other session goes through. I'm thinking there is nothing for me to present. Everybody's presented the same thing and to the microscopic level. Now I need an electron microscope. So, but everybody is bringing out things from their vantage points. I was thinking, okay, I'm happy. At least I'm not among the last few. Then here comes another gem, another gem, another gem. And then
Right.
even the feedbacks are also areas where I think there is more reflection happening. So now I realize the intent of the presentations and the intent of the discussions as well. Thank you, sir.
That's that photographs. I noticed that cup, and I found something interesting in that. And when I noticed it, actually, then I thought of presenting and adding it into the presentation. But that was added before, maybe 15 minutes or 20 minutes before the session started. At that time also I had a doubt that what others think or kind of thing. But I thought that I need to overcome that, because this is something different in this platform. Subtle levels of things are accepted and appreciated. That's what Sir always says. The minor changes, the small variations that we can make. So all the, because the topic flow was in my mind when one or two presentations were over, and I had the same struggles, turbulences, what to present, how to do that. Then I got the flow. Then I got this parable. I was really fascinated about this parable. But one insight came to me is the center of the world. Before that, it was just natural to me. So whenever I see a thing, this presentation is always, or the ideas were always connected with the flow. Whatever I see, whatever I observe, it's always connected with the flow. And yeah, for 1 week it was completely lost. And like the alarm clock, sir informed me that there is someone, I mean, Veena is ready for presenting this day. So, and before that also, I don't remember who presented before that. Priyaji was there, Meenakshi was there. So I just escaped, and today I just wanted to do the presentation, because I said yesterday, sir, also, because when everyone completed their presentations, all of us completed, so I was the only one to present. Unless I present, I thought that I was a bit lagging behind the other ideas. I listened to them, linkages, variants, intentionality. So somehow I wanted to do it today, and yeah, yes. Thank you, Tinji, and thank you, everyone.
Okay, all right. Very brilliant. And particularly, I want to talk about the review given by Mantra Rishiga. Today, for the first time, she talked much more loudly. This is something I always used to tell her, but it happened for her today because that was the kind of impact of the presentation of Vinay. That's why. Very good mantra, Rishika, for giving a very brilliant review. And I also say that every one of you have become very precise, focused on the point, and creative in your language to make reviews on this kind of higher order ideas being presented. So that's also one thing which I wanted you to develop along with these sessions. As I told you, it is not easy to make a review. And when you are doing that review, you are scanning whatever that has been listened to. You are scanning your understanding about the concepts, and there is a small research going on inside you that you have to understand. A small research, data collection, okay, analysis of the data, identifying the significant trends of the data, and making some conclusions. That is the basic paradigm of research. For that few moments you are doing that, in that 5 minutes or 10 minutes of your review, you are quickly doing that wonderful job. That's a great thing, and congratulations to every one of you. See you. Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Good night, sir. Good night, all.
Thank you,
Good
sir.
night,
Thank
all.
you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
Good
Bye.
night. Thank you.
Night.
Bye, all.
Bye.
Bye bye Vinay,
Bye.
bye bye Veena,
Bye, sir.
Ramesh, Aswati, Tintin,
Bye, sir.
Anuradha, Naveen, Vinay,
Bye.
Manraja, and Amaya Rajashri. Bye bye.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Bye bye, sir.
Good night.
Thank you, Vinay.
Good night, all.